Alright guys, before we get into previewing the game, let's run down the injury report. Obviously not some good news for us Dolphins fans, as Brandon Albert and Mike Pouncey will not be playing on Sunday's game, which is huge. Obviously they've carried the offensive line, two of the probably, Pouncey best, and then you got Tunsil and you got Albert, so losing those two is a huge hit to the team. We know that from earlier on in the year when Mike was down for the first 4 weeks. We had a lot of problems. Anthony Steen is a good replacement though. Obviously Tunsil going to left tackle is not a problem. He's been playing that position his whole life. So I don't think it's going to be as bad as last time. Hopefully not. Obviously Craig Ubrick moving up to guard. Hopefully he can at least hold his own. So Anthony Steen in the Aaron Donald matchup is going to be interesting. But I have faith in Anthony there. He's been an underrated player. But as for the Rams, in terms of their injury report, I think they're pretty much 100% healthy. Robert Quinn missed the whole week, this whole week of practice, which is not good for him. But he will play Sunday, so he probably will. I mean, that's not good for him. Tremaine Johnson missed Friday's practice, which is one of their best players with an illness, but he is expected to play. So everybody for the Rams is pretty much gonna play. So let's get into the stats, guys. Now, if you hear rain, it is raining, so that is what that sound is. So let's get started with the Miami Dolphins. We run through the stats every week. Points, we are 19th with 22. Yards, 22nd with 339. Pass yards, we keep dropping because we keep running the ball a lot. We were 28th with 219 yards, but we were in the top 10 a month and a half ago or something like that. So when we want to pass, we can pass, and when we do, we're in the upper echelon of passing. And rush yards, we are 6th with 120. Surprised we didn't go down at least a rank from the San Diego performance. I think we still had almost 80 yards rushing, so it wasn't that bad. So there's the stats. Now let's get into the LA Rams. The LA Rams, one of the biggest reasons that their team has been terrible so far this season, not terrible, but pretty bad, is because of their offense. Their offense is really bad. It's really, really bad. Points, they are 32nd, which is dead last in the NFL with 15 points a game, and that's being generous. They scored 9 points against the New York Jets. They couldn't even score a touchdown, and that's being generous. So yards, they're almost dead last in the NFL. They were 31st with 308. Pass yards, they're actually 25th with 225, which is actually surprising because of Todd Gurley. And this is a huge stat, which is weird. And this is not on Todd Gurley. He's still a great player. Just their offense as a whole is terrible. Their offensive line is not very good. The run blocking hasn't been very good. The play calling has been stagnant. Everything about this football team in terms of an offense has been pretty bad. In rush yards, they are 29th in the NFL with 82 rush yards a game. So hopefully we can keep that going when we go up against the LA Rams. So let's start with what we have to do, and to win this game, I think it's really going to come down to, let's start with the offense. If you don't make the Rams, how they win their games is their defense wins them the games for them. They get the turnovers, they get the offensive good field position, they get picks, they put them up in positions where it's easy to score field goals or touchdowns. So their defense wins them a lot of games. Okay, so if we don't beat ourselves on the offensive side of the ball, and we don't turn it over, and we don't let that defense win them the game, then it's going to be very hard for the Rams to score points. If we give them long fields, if they're getting on the 25, the 30, the 40, even the 40. I mean, this team struggles to score points. Obviously, I think their best receivers this year is Kenny Britt. They really don't have. He's been having a really good year. But they do not have a physical freak in terms of a number one. Like this guy is going to be a problem. This is a game plan wrecker. This is who we're going to have to game plan for on the defense side of the football. Now, on the offense side of the football, when obviously going up against this Rams defense, they do have that. They have Aaron Donald. So Aaron Donald can wreck your game plan completely if you don't watch out for him. Obviously, Robert Quinn coming off the edge on the other side, but Tunsil's on him. So I think the number one priority is if we don't beat ourselves on the offense side of the ball, we don't give them short fields with stupid turnovers, and that goes for special teams and the offense side of the ball, and those are the number one priority. If we don't do that on the offensive side of the ball, then we have a really, really good chance of winning this game. Now, as the offense, this is their game to win. Now, the defense could get some turnovers because this Rams offense, not very good, like I've said. But if the offense scores 20 points, then we're in good shape against this, because they barely can they barely can score touchdowns, and that's I don't care who you have at quarterback. You could have Joe Montana behind the center for this Rams offense, and it's just not. They just don't have it. They don't have it goes from top to bottom between the tight ends. They actually have some pretty decent tight ends, but from the tight ends to the offensive line, to the running back, which is their best position, obviously, to the receivers, to the quarterback, to the offensive coordinator, and to the head coach. It's all a factor. It's not just one person. There's 11 people out there. So they just, as collectively as a football team, that offense is terrible. So as an offense, back to the other side of the football, if we can score more than 20 points on this really good Rams defense, they have tons of talent on that side of the football. But that's the only reason they've won games this season, is because of that. This team is terrible. I think they lead the league. So staying on the offensive side before I get too far into the defense, as an offense, I think this is going to come down. I think Jay's going to have a big game. And I know that sounds crazy, but I think Jay's going to have a big game against this. I don't know. I think Adam Gase has a good game plan. Ryan Tannehill has obviously been hot. He was ranked the 5th best player of the week. So Pro Football Focus ranked him that. So he's been on fire. This offense is on fire. Devontae Parker is finally healthy. He's finally getting his groove back. I think Jarvis is a whole lot more healthy. He didn't have a whole lot more healthy than he was last week, and obviously Kenny is a little bit more healthy. So I think that we have that going for us. Obviously, this offensive line, it's going to come down to pass protection, and we don't even have to get a lot in the run game. Just getting us in 3rd and shorts, not 3rds and 10s, 3rds and 3rd and 8s, 3rd and 7s. You want to have those, 5 yards, 6 yards to get a first down. Put those in. Pass protection is going to be so big in this game. It's in any game, it's huge against this front four. If we can have decent pass protection the whole game, that's all you can ask for. So it's definitely going to come down to down and distance. We got to put ourselves in good situations and convert 3rd downs, keep drives alive, and not put it all on our defense. And obviously, if we don't turn the ball over, I think that alone is a recipe to win against the Rams. I think if we don't let their defense win them the game, then that puts us in a great position to win this football game. Alright, so let's go to the defense side of the football. Now, I talked about it, I alluded to it earlier. All these Rams fans, and I would be too, if I drafted a quarterback with the number 1 overall pick. I would want to see him in the first week of the season. It doesn't matter who you have behind this offense is bad. It's just bad. They don't have a lot of playmakers at all. Their best receiver is probably Tavon Austin in terms of talent. Obviously Todd Gurley, and it's not even Todd Gurley is still a great player. It's just their offensive line is not good. It's not, obviously the offensive play calling has been pretty bad. They have to manufacture offenses, which you never really wanted. They really have to dig deep and really scheme it up to get, with crazy trick plays and stuff like that. They just really struggle on the offense side of the football. And you hear, I don't know, you've been hearing things about Goff, if he's ready. I think their game plan against our defense is coming into this game is they're going to try to run the ball with Todd, and that's what they do. They've done all season, is just try to get the ball in Todd Gurley's hands any way they can, if that's in the pass game, the running game. If we can shut the running game down, then our defense will eat all day. I have faith in Byron Maxwell, who's had to guard, tons of great receivers this year, done a decent job, did a really good job against Brandon Marshall. He has nobody he has to worry like that against. In this game, like I said, they don't have that one receiver who's a physical freak who just wows you, who can wreck a defense by himself. So I have faith. Obviously, Jelani Jenkins is going to be hurt. I forgot to mention that. I don't really think that matters. I think Neville Hewitt is good, if not. He's not good. He's not as good in the run game, but in the pass game, he's amazing. He's fantastic. So I don't think that's going to matter at all. But I think if we can shut down the run game, I'm not really worried about the pass game. If they get the run game going, then that sets up the pass game, obviously. Takes the pressure off the rookie quarterback. Makes it a little bit more simpler for him to read the coverages. Gets us in a little bit more of a base defense, so it's a little bit more simpler. We don't have to, if they get that run game going, Vance Joseph can't sit in all these exotic blitzes, which is not going to, Vance Joseph, I can just talk 5 hours about Vance Joseph. hopefully he doesn't become a head coach after this year, because a lot of people are gonna try to get him to be one. He's one of the best defensive coordinators in the league. He's called so many great games this year. I have 100% faith in the man to get this defense ready for what they're going to bring. And they're not going to switch up their offense, even though obviously Jared Goff's coming back. Obviously they won't. They're not going to do anything. It's not going to be anything drastically different. It's going to be the same thing. They're going to try to get Todd Gurley involved, and I think obviously Vance knows that. I think the biggest challenge is, and I don't even know why we're worried about Jared Goff as much, because he's not going to come out throwing it like 50 times a game. Like, he's not Tom Brady or anything like that, who like carries the team on his back. Like, I'm not worried about Jared Goff passing it 50 times and just he's not going to do. He's a rookie quarterback, so they're going to lean heavily on other people like Todd Gurley, like this offensive line, to make the game a little bit more simpler for him. So if we can shut down Todd Gurley, then we shut down that Rams offense. Also want to bring up, they're the worst team in the NFL, probably one of the worst team, if not the worst team in NFL history, one of them at least, on third downs. They are terrible on third. If you get these guys in 3rd and 10, it's a wrap. And obviously we're second in the NFL now in third down defense. So all of that, I mean, they're terrible on third down. We're we're a great third down defense team. When we get you in 3rd and 10s, our pass rush just gets there. Our secondary holds up. If penalties, I don't know if penalties. Hopefully, our defense doesn't get called for a ton of penalties this game. Last week was obviously atrocious when it came to that, and I pointed that out. I think you just can't. Against this team, it's not like this is the Chargers, you know what I mean? But against any NFL team, you do not want to give them extra chances. You don't want to hold, like, any kind of thing that they didn't earn. You don't want to give them. You don't want to give them free anything. So, obviously, that's going to be coming into play. Hopefully, we can cut down on those penalties. I think it's just, if we can cut down on the penalties and stop Todd Gurley, then we have an amazing chance of winning this football game. So, that is going to be it, guys. I am Skyx283, and I will see you guys in the next one.